Hi, I'm Kat, and welcome to Kat's Cooking Corner. And this is Pepper. Hi, I'm Kat, and this is Pepper, and welcome to Kat's Cooking Corner. Today we are going to be making chili with beans, if Miss Pepper will allow me to. For this recipe, you will need olive oil, an onion, garlic cloves, pepper, sorry. She is on my shoulders, so a little complicated here. Okay, garlic cloves, ground beef, chili powder, cumin, sugar, tomato paste, salt, black pepper, and not my cat, cayenne pepper, beef broth, diced tomatoes, chili beans, and tomato sauce. Okay, the first thing we need to do is prep our garlic and onion. Try to get into the screen here. There we go. You can use as much onion as you like. The base recipe that I use calls for the entire onion, but I never do that. I usually use about half the onion. Actually, though, once I get the parts I don't use off, there's not much onion here, so I may go ahead and use the whole onion this time. Okay. Sometimes the skin peels right off. Sometimes it's a little more attached. Okay. Then we need to dice the onion. Yes, Miss Pepper, this is why you need to get down. Luckily, this isn't a real tearjerker onion. If you do have one that seems to be a little more cry-worthy, one idea is to light a candle. It will help with the juices from the onion. I've heard other methods, but that's the one I know that I use. Okay. Have our onion prepped. Now, Going to use 2 cloves of garlic. Need to peel the skin off of them. Okay, now the onions are getting me. Whoa. Okay, it's actually turned out to be more than just 2 cloves I had. And I'm going to go ahead and use all of it here, because these are fairly small. I don't know if I can even get that one. Cut the ends off. Now I want to mince them. Come on. No. Today is not wanting to cooperate with me. There we go. Just a little bit of the skin there. Let's get that off. Okay. Oops. Kind of clear off our table here. Now we need to move over to the stove. We need 1 large pot to make the chili in. First thing we're going to do is take, if I find where I set my measuring spoons, there they are. 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Add it to the pot. Turn our stove on. For this, I usually stay pretty much high heat. Need the oil to warm up. But if you can see, that's kind of how it should look. Kind of spread out the oil a little bit. I'm going to let that warm up for just a moment. Then once it's ready, then we add our garlic and onion. think that you should just heat these up, soften them a little. Pretty much keep the basic taste and texture that a raw onion would have. I prefer to saute them for a little while until they reach that caramelized onion stage. Gives them a sweeter taste, and they're much easier to eat if you're someone that has difficulties eating harder foods. Not quite caramelized yet, but it's still got more cooking time, so I'm going to go ahead and add the ground beef. The onions will continue to cook and caramelize as the beef cooks. Okay, once the ground beef is browned, then we can begin adding our other ingredients. At this point, you will want to turn your heat down to medium. First thing we need to add is 2.5 tablespoons of chili powder. Since I used my 1 tablespoon measure for the olive oil, I'm just going to use my 1/2 tablespoon 5 times. And no, you do not drain the grease off the hamburger meat. Next, we need to add 2 tablespoons of cumin. I believe that's how that word is said. And that would be 4 of these. Nice. Go ahead and kind of mix it in. Now we need 2 tablespoons of sugar. Where did I set the sugar? There it is. I'm going to go ahead and use one that olive oil is in and hope it doesn't stick too bad. There. Then we need a 6-ounce can of tomato paste, you can use anywhere from 2 tablespoons to the entire can. It just depends how thick you want your chili. I'm going to start out with 3 tablespoons just to see how it turns out. This is something you can always add more of later on. Mix that in a little bit. Pepper, no. No. Oh, fine. Stay up there. For some reason, my cat is being very clingy today. Okay, now we need 1½ teaspoons of salt. Black pepper, and not my cat. I prefer freshly ground peppers, so just do it till you think it's enough. That in together. Now need a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I can't reach up there with her on my shoulders. Put that away. Now mix it all up thoroughly. Make sure all the spices are mixed in. At this point, you have kind of a thick, nasty looking mess. Okay, now we need to add our beef broth. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way real quick. Okay. And we need 1½ cups of beef broth. Need 1 10-ounce can of diced tomatoes, basically Rotel. It's the diced tomatoes with green chilies in it. Need 1 15-ounce can of tomato sauce. slight mess here. It's actually easier to cook when I don't have a cat on my shoulders, but as I said, Miss Pepper wants to be here. And now here is Mr. Dusty. No, Wayne, get down. Final ingredient is a can of chili beans, which need to be drained before they're put in, so I will be right back. Okay, now 1 can of drained chili beans. Stir this all together. Now you'll want to let this simmer for at least 30 minutes before serving. Honestly, the longer it simmers, the more the flavors combine and the better it tastes. It is usually always better tomorrow, but it will be ready to eat within roughly 30 minutes. Miss Pepper, turn the heat up just a smidge. This is what it looks like so far. Okay, while the chili is cooking, I'd like to take a moment to introduce you to Miss Pepper. She is what my daughter calls our glitch cat. Story behind that, in January of 2021, I had my cats living in a barn that we had built. They were supposed to be safe. You know, it was supposed to be animal proof, etc. Apparently, the best construction will not keep out bloodthirsty pit bulls. We had the barn separated. One side was boys, one side was girls. And these dogs literally ripped the siding off to get in to kill my cats. Both of Miss Pepper's daughters, Sister and Morgana, were brutally murdered, along with our rescue, Miss Sierra. And there was pieces. That's really all there was pieces everywhere. But there was pieces of another black cat. And since Miss Pepper was in there with them, and she was nowhere to be found, we assumed the extra black cat tail, etc., was hers. Well, about a week later, I'm out taking care of my boys that were still alive. Because one of my boys did end up dying from the incident, but he didn't die right away. But I went out to take care of my boys, and I hear this little meow and see this little black cat walk out of the edge of the woods. But she wouldn't come down the hill because there's still carnage, because these dogs literally killed everything in their path. There were possums and stuff like that they had mutilated, and she would not come down past all that stuff. So my daughter's cat, which also disappeared that year, Mr. Sirius, walked up there to her. They touched noses, and he brought her down, showed her a path to come down to me. She jumped up in my arms, and that's how she has greeted me ever since. She jumps up in my arms. She has to ride on my shoulders. She does have post-traumatic stress disorder. For a long time, she carried a stuffed bunny around and would cry constantly. When we rescued Dusty, she became mama to him, and that kind of helped with her depression, but on occasion she still carries that stuffed bunny around. But that is why my daughter calls her the glitch cat, because as she said, there was a glitch in the matrix, that Pepper died and then Pepper came back, so something is up. But this is Miss Pepper. She is my sweetheart. She will be 6 years old in 2023. Thank you for watching today's episode of Cat's Cooking Corner. If you'd like to see more recipes, please subscribe.